Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's Premarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to Premarket Prep. Spencer Israel still without a camera, but with my dulcet tones. Joel's here. Dennis is here too. He'll be back in a second, but I promise he's here. We're going to talk Baba today. We're going to talk Tesla. We're going to talk jobs number. We're going to hopefully be joined by Marcus Highcarter. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend, back at 8:35. We'll do ticker time at the end of the show. We will share some boots on the ground research as well that Mitch did on his own accord yesterday, and we'll take questions from our chat. And I guess we should probably start by talking about yesterday, though. Joel, bring up your charts if you can, and let's start with yesterday's action, because the question I'm asking to the both of you, or Dennis whenever he joins, is breakout or fake out, Joel? What say you here?
Well, right now, the numbers are saying a breakout. We'll just run things down. We'll talk about yesterday's action when Dennis comes on here.
Hey, he's here. He's here.
Oh, he is. Okay. Well, let's talk about today's action. And we're up 3 3/4 handles ahead of the big jobs number, pre-market high 03 1/4. Nothing there. Pre-market low 82 1/4. Nothing there. So market has to find my levels. And wow, the upside yesterday 43.21. That's a high. That looks like a good early target on the upside. Crude bouncing back up 52 cents at 78.81. Gold just battling its way up to 1,800, up $4 at 1763.10. Silver in the red by 9 cents at 22.57. Bitcoin having a good day, having a great week. That's up 13.85 at 55.855. And Ethereum, that's up $20.25 at 36.4650. First question I have, though, for Triple D and Mitch is, without the technical and computer wizards that run this show, how'd it go yesterday? How'd it go?
I have nothing to do with any technical stuff
Mitch,
behind the background. Zero. I've never ran a YouTube show. I only speak. We did. Actually, somebody tweeted us it was the best show ever.
Yeah,
that was me. That was me.
Oh, it was you. And then they said
me,
it was Spencer. Wait, Mitch is on mute again. They can't hear Mitch. Mitch, what's wrong with you? Like, you're usually the technical guru.
I don't know what's going on. My mic doesn't want to get picked up by my desktop audio. The same thing that happened yesterday, but now they can hear me.
Yeah, I saw it.
No, they still say you can't hear you.
In the chat,
they're calling you Muted Mitch.
Muted Mitch.
He's a mime now. You got to read his lips.
Hello? Is the wall
I had it on my computer.
Try again. They still don't hear you.
There's always a delay.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's that much of a delay. It's about 7 seconds.
Mitch,
you're gonna get kicked off the show if you don't get this mic figured out. He was right on deck to replace Spencer, but now he's falling apart. Spencer, we love you.
Oh no!
Bears.
I had it on I came downstairs. I was able to do some work a little bit later in the day, and I had it on. And I go, oh, I just want to see how things, how things got started.
Mitch
but after
left.
like
We made
5 minutes in the chat ripping you guys a new one, I was just like, okay, I hope they get the show going. But I'm just giving you a hard time, Triple D and Mitch. I'm sure it was a great show.
It's not me. Don't give me a hard time. All I do is speak.
All Dennis goes is, I
if
can't
I
hear
drop
anything.
the swear word, then you can give me a hard time. But
This
I
is
don't know anything
this
about
is
running the
Dennis
background
helping.
stuff.
It's not working. It's not working. It's not working.
He's
All right.
not-
Nice move
What's
yesterday.
working?
3 inside
What do you
days in a
want me to
row.
say? It is working?
It's working. It's working.
Okay. We forgive you, Mitch. We forgive you, Mitch. We got to figure out why you keep going on mute, though. Muted Mitch.
3
You guys are a tough
inside
crowd.
days in a row, right? And the market was just bottled up. They really tried to bust it on Wednesday. And you called it triple day. Get bust. Like get this thing under 4,300. Get this thing under 4,270. And then I would look and the thing would be trading like 42.96, 97. And literally I would turn my head and it would be like 4303, and I'm like, what? And it was just like big buyers came in. Then once they got it over the high, but we broke out. So old resistance, new support. We're 30 handles away from that. We got a jobs number. Let's take out 4421, and it'll be a pretty good week. And close on the highs for the week. The only wild card is how we react to the jobs number.
I mean, this market is still, and you know what? I still agree with Spencer. I still think you're making the high by the end of the year, and I think it kind of proved itself 2 days ago that in the end, this market just wants to go higher. So are we out of the woods? Are we going to retest those lows? Are we going to fill that gap? I tend to think we're going to fill that gap, Joel. The gap from 2 days ago, because there's not much in there, and you might not see it on the S&P futures, but you definitely see it on SPY, which I'm talking about the gap from 435.11 up to 438.20. There's a 3-point, almost 30 handle gap in there from the regular trading session, which SPY obviously is involved in. So I think we're going to fill that. I think I would be a buyer down there, though, with the old resistance of 435. So we get down 30, 40 handles from here, I'll be buying more stocks on the dip. So, ideally, you'd have been buying, at the dip 427, 428, but I was buying dips and selling rips. So any stocks I did buy, I probably sold them too soon because I did not expect the big breakout, the 2-day follow through move. It was a 120 point run from the low. So, do we fill the gap? I think we do. I think you're a buyer, though, if we do.
All right. About the jobs.
I want to ask you all about the close yesterday because we closed pretty weak. Mitch and I were watching it.
And overbought. We went from oversold to overbought, and literally, if you look at where this market went, we went from 428 SPY at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon 2 days ago to at the open we just run to 441, 130 points equivalent. That is on the S&P futures in literally 3 hours, an overnight session, a pre-market session, and an hour of morning trading. Crazy. And Paul saying I've changed my tune of the market in 2 days. I haven't changed my tune. I've been saying buy dips and sell rips. I've been just on the fence, fading every move and continuing to fade moves, saying if we fall 30 handles here, I'll be a buyer. If we rally 30 handles here, I'll probably be a seller. I'm doing the same thing, Paul, that I do every single day, and that is buy dips and sell rips intraday, overnight, wherever it is. I tweet it out almost every single day. I think everybody knows what I'm doing. It's just been working. The fade trade has been working. There's not a lot of follow through. So I don't think I was bullish or bearish. Was I bullish or bearish? I think I've been bullish.
You know what? The way you talked me out of, I was ready.
You're ready to throw in the towel of
if we took out those lows, right? If, right? If your Uncle Bill, well, I can't say that on TV. But what the thing is, and the way you turn me a little bit is like, where are you going to put your money? Where are you going to put, if you take it out of the market, where are you going to put it? Bitcoin? Okay, you can put it in Bitcoin. You put it in gold. No. Shiba? No. And that is
there's no place to go.
There's no place to go. And that's a sad excuse, but it's the truth.
And that's it. And the inflation is incredible. I know it just from this house build, which is stressing me out. I've talked about it on the show multiple times. I mean, material on this house is just unbelievably went up in price. Like, I mean, everything that we budgeted is coming in 30-40% higher on the material, just on the material. That's that's from, budgeted in the fall to where we are, I guess, 1 year over year. So you're seeing 30-40% rises in some cases, like I said, in the electrical wire, 300% rises in the price of stuff. I mean, you can say there's, no inflation on TVs, like Kathy would, obviously in technology, maybe there's a little bit of deflation there. But in every other aspect of our life, it's a lot of inflation. And it isn't running at 3-4%. Some things are running at 3-4%, 5%. But the things that use the most, gas, food, housing, that stuff is running way hotter than 5%. So if you want to keep up with inflation and you are just putting your money in the bank or sticking it under your mattress, you are now probably 20% poorer than you were at this time last year. Because the biggest expense to every single person out there that's normal, that isn't just, ridiculously wealthy, is their house. And housing costs have went up substantially. In Ontario, they went up 32% last year. I heard in the States, I read a figure, I don't know if that's right, it was up 26% last year. But you can see easily in most places, houses are up over 20% year over year. In some places, they're up 30%, 40%. That's a huge expense to Main Street. That's a huge expense to everyone. How do you, keep up with that? You got to stay invested because, markets move up with that as well. So that's my rant, to stay invested here. That's why I don't move to 100% cash, even though a lot of things are telling me that there is a lot of risk out there. But I think the biggest risk out there is inflation. And I don't know how else you beat it. And that's why the commodity trade has gotten hot. That's why, crypto has gotten hot. That's why a lot of things have gotten hot. So
Dennis, maybe you can get the house finished by the time for next tax season.
I'm just getting
so you can
slaughtered
just give it back to the government because you're gonna tax so much taxes to everybody. Now it's
I owe
true.
tax to everyone all the time. 53.5% bracket in Ontario. 53.5 is the high bracket. It's an incredible amount to think about. And that's just income tax. That doesn't include property tax. That doesn't include sales tax. That doesn't include any other tax that they've come up with. I mean, when you think about it, at the end of the day, you're lucky in Ontario if you're keeping 25% of your money on an after-tax basis at the high bracket. So obviously we know there's corporations that can get around stuff and that, but there's a lot of people that pay a lot of tax.
You're always welcome here once you get your house built.
But your taxes are going up too. So, we know, over 400,000 or 500, Joe Biden's going to raise your taxes on you too, Joel. So you're no place to hide.
Yep.
Taxes are going up there as well. I don't think they're going to 53.5%, but they're probably going higher.
All right, Spencer, take the lead here.
I do want to give Dennis a tip of the hat here because I forgot if it was Monday, it may have been Friday. I don't know what the days all blend together. But he said one of these days, Alibaba's going to rip higher like 10-20%. And that has happened.
It was Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday? I don't know.
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Maybe it was Wednesday. And so now I'm curious, as someone who is long Alibaba, Dennis, what are you thinking here?
Well, I'm sticking with my long-term Alibaba. If I had it on for a trade, I would probably be thinking 160 to 161 was an old resistance point. 20 points in 2 days is pretty good. Thanks to Uncle Charlie taking the stake. I think it's a good pop. I'm not coming in and buying Alibaba now. I'll tell you that. The buy was when we set it up, the trade for you 2 days ago. We were saying we can lean on the low 138.43. The stock was trading 141. And obviously pulled down to under 140. So if you were even getting, I know my buddy Mike there in Nashville, he bought some and he was thanking me for it. And I know there's some other traders that bought it too. So good job to all the traders who did buy it. I mentioned it. I never did buy some more. I thought about it, but I'm bouncing around doing a lot of things. I never thought about it again. Then I looked and it was up $10 and I was like, oh, I missed it. But
was there any news out of China or was it just a good old fashioned rally? Or was there a fact that there was no
Chinese stocks rallied? That helped too, Joel. So it's a good point. JD.com rallied. So this wasn't just exclusive to Alibaba. It's a fantastic point. EEM, you can look right there, was trading up substantially as well. China had a relief pop. Drastically, massively oversold. which is why we were saying Alibaba was the same reason, is that it was just oversold so much that it needed a relief pop. It got it. Whether it was China, whether it was Uncle Charlie that was the catalyst, that's obviously, never going to be proven with 100% accuracy, but it had a catalyst with Uncle Charlie. I mean, Charlie Munger doubling his stake in Alibaba. But the second catalyst was indeed the Chinese stocks bounced back, but they were oversold. So oversold stocks have these wicked rallies. It's like, I've said this before, when you're in a bull market, it's up like an escalator, down like an elevator. When you're in a bear market, and Alibaba is definitely in a bear market, it's down like an escalator, up like an elevator. Well, you just had an elevator ride up 3 floors. Are we going up another 3 floors? There's the potential to do that, but the easy money was made probably 2 days ago.
160.38. We snuck over that in the pre-market, I believe. Yeah, it got closer to 161. Now 160.38 is your September 17th high. That's the last time it closed over 160. So I keep an eye on that. The next high comes in at 163.07. And it also settled back close to 160 that day. So there's your sell zone. 160 to 163.
Third wave coming in the chat. We discussed this the other day as well. Munger has pretty decent stake. I'll just read third wave's comment here. 16% of Munger's portfolio is in BABA between 180 and 200. I'll take your word for it on that. I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm sure it's somewhere around there.
180 and 200 what?
What in BABA? What
shares you mean?
No, price.
Oh, so
where
he's
he's
at,
averaged
he's
in.
on
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
He had me confused
So-
too, so it's a legitimate.
Sorry.
Guess where Charlie went to undergrad?
Michigan.
Right.
It definitely wasn't Michigan State if Joel's bringing it up.
But no, and maybe he's buying more too, though. But we'll
Well,
follow
he did.
it.
That's why I went up. He bought
Yep.
more. Got
Yep.
disclosed.
Don't frown average down, Charlie.
Uncle
Okay, and
Charlie.
I-
That's
and
it.
I wanna
Don't
bring up
never
this
frown
point-
average down unless you're in a really bad stock.
I want to bring up this point from Evil DJ Navarrete. Yes, the Chinese ADRs that trade on U.S. exchanges technically don't give you any rights to anything, to any profits from the company, but they trade as if they do, right? So it's a different pool of liquidity. If you own shares of BABA that trade on the NYSE, you're not actually getting profits from Alibaba Corporation over in China, but the shares trade as if you do get those profits. So, but yes, you're right. You actually have rights to nothing. That's just the way the Chinese ADR.
That's a comforting feeling when you're owning Chinese stocks.
That's just
you legally have the rights to nothing. That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
You have rights to nothing, and that's not unique to Alibaba. That's every Chinese ADR in the U.S. You have rights to nothing, but that's the way. So
you got rights to GM's profits. Owning GM here, you can walk in and demand some money.
He's saying
No.
you have a legal recourse here, where the ADRs are just more tracking the price.
Yes, exactly. They're tracking the price.
Yeah.
They're tracking the price. Someone asked if I was buying K-Web. No, I'm not buying K-Web. I'm not buying that back. I just got out of that. I don't want to get back in.
I don't know what to say on China. I mean, it was so oversold. It got the nice bounce. Backing and filling, Joel. I wait for the backing up a little bit here. Maybe you just get, maybe this relief pop continues because it was massively oversold. Is there room to 55 on K-Web? Absolutely there is. Is it going straight there tomorrow? I don't think so. I think it'll have some work to do because there's so many bag holders holding all of these Chinese stocks. And obviously we know it's difficult to just come back unless you're CEI. And which would be a good segue into dead cat bounces. And you look at this thing, 485. Gets the short from, was it Kerrisdale? I think it was Kerrisdale.
Yes.
And gets the short report. The stock tanks down to 85 cents. And now, in basically 24 hours, it's back up to $2.31. What a comeback. So what do you do when your stock, your meme stock, or your social media stock implodes to the tune of 85%? And then all of a sudden bounces 150% in a day? What do you do? Asking chat, asking Joel, asking Spencer, even asking muted Mitch.
I think this is a rhetorical question.
It is. What do? Elite Trader has the right answer. In my opinion, not investment advice, not in trading advice, but when you're in a stock and all of a sudden it tanks and has a nice dead cat bounce, and we know what I do? I sell it and get out, sell that rip. That's right, folks. This chat is learning. This chat is, and obviously, sometimes I'm wrong, but I said this on BBIG yesterday when it was 650. It's 530. It literally fell 25% since I said that yesterday. And I don't trade any of the stuff, no positions on any of the stuff. I don't trade any of these meme stocks usually, other than, I guess, the odd time you go into them. But for the most part, it's not my cup of tea. We know I'm more of a mega cap specialist. So I trade everything, but I'm not in any of these positions right now. And I didn't take any position in BBIG either. But when you get those big pops and these dead cat bounces, there's so many bag holders from 4, 3, 2 that are going to be looking to get their money back. It's up on 60 million shares. I think it's a fabulous selling opportunity today. Just my opinion.
Trading close to the pre-market high. And just the only thing I'll say is the pre-market high is at 243. If in fact you get through that, your next daily high is not over to $3, $3.22. And that's all the comments I have for CEI.
Let's talk Tesla here for a second. They had their annual shareholder meeting last night. Nothing I thought too noteworthy that came out of it. They are moving their headquarters to Austin. I think that's not a total surprise. They talked about increasing their output at their Fremont factory by 50%. No plans to offer dividends or do a stock split anytime soon. Elon said they may start scouting for locations on another factory sometime next year. But I don't know, nothing too noteworthy to come out of it. I guess the biggest thing was probably the headquarters, but again, that's not a total surprise to people who've been paying attention.
They've been talked about for a while.
Right. So anyway, the stock did trade higher into the meeting. This is what usually happens. I haven't seen it this morning. Oh, there it is up on the screen. Okay, so it's flat-ish. Is that fair to say? I don't know.
It's up. It's up a little bit.
It's up. All right.
Bounced around. The volatility in Tesla, Joel, has been incredibly muted. Has it not? Don't you feel like
tight
Tesla?
ranges? I agree.
Yeah, and again, it's not coincidental that it's a major part of the S&P, and you now have the ETF effects happening on this, which is muting volatility. So people are putting together, and I've said this before. You want to put together the Qs, or you want to put together the S&P as an ETF. You grab that 4 or 5 top components, and you probably got a 90% correlation with it. So, and they throw Tesla into that mix now, because if we just go and look at the percentage of what Tesla is of the Qs and of the SPY, and it is significant. Whereas in the SPY, it's top 10 for sure. I think it's top 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's number 6.
We're gonna look. Tesla is of the SPY is now.
If you combine the Googles, it's 6.
6.
If you don't combine the Googles, it's 7.
What is it, like 3%? 2.5%, 3%?
I'm grabbing it right
somewhere
now.
in that. I would look it up, but my
Qs is 4.5.
Okay.
SPY it's only 1.7, but it is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's number 7. So that's significant.
But that's 2 Googles.
We're not talking Google.
I know, but you're saying it's 7.
Oh, it's 6. I know what you mean. You have to put 2 Googles together. So it's number 6.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're right. It's 2 Googles. So yeah. So it's number 6. It's significant. And, you have 500 stocks as number 6 of the biggest ones. The quick arb traders, are right there, and they can use that, to get that correlation. So you have massive ETF effects on this now. And what that means is, SPY all of a sudden tanking, Q's tanking, Tesla's going to go down with that. But you're not going to see those moves. And if there's no news, and, obviously on news, any stock can move. We know that. You can see Facebook's moved 10% on a bad headline before. But, if there's news, it can move. But if there's no news, you have those ETF effects, which is definitely muting the volatility now.
I'm going to go with Chris.
About that on October 16th.
I'm going to go with Chris Brown here. And he said, hey, you got a double top here. Yesterday's high, 805. October 4th high, 806.97. Close enough for me, an $800 stock. You take out those pair of highs, and then boom, there you go. Another leg higher. I will notice that it has traded over 800 and up in the 790s. The best close it's had is 793.81. That was the close yesterday. So there's your good number. Let's just keep improving on the close and take out that 806.97. That's what you need on the downside. Depend all market conditions aside, yesterday's low 83.38.
Just
So
put
we got 3 minutes before the jobs number.
yes.
Can you preview that for me? Because I'm going to go trade that number. I'm going to leave you guys for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to
Yes,
leave you
I
in 1
can.
minute. So give me the preview so I kind of know what to expect.
First, remember, I know it's hard. Think back to a month ago. The
Oh.
jobs number came in a very, very, very big miss. So only 235,000 jobs added in August, compared to like 800 and 900,000 the prior months. Anyway, the estimate for last month, for September, is 500,000 jobs. That is the estimate for the non-farm payrolls figure. Unemployment expected to tick down to 5.1% from 5.2%. The prior month. So 5.1% unemployment, 500,000 non-farm payrolls. Those are your bogeys. Remember, we are coming off a month, August, which was a surprisingly big miss. So that's where we're at now. 500,000 jobs, 5.1% unemployment. Those are the numbers we want to see. Let's see what we will see in 3 minutes. And reminder, actually, you know what? I don't know how much these numbers really matter today, because the Fed has one more meeting on the books anyway, I think, right? The FOMC has one more meeting on the books for this year. And they've already said they're going to announce when they're going to start tapering by the end of the year. So they're probably going to announce it at the next meeting regardless. I don't know how much this changes the picture, but I guess we'll find out if it's a big beat or a big miss. But
Someone's getting a little jumpy
Getting
here.
choppy
Getting
ahead of the number.
jumpy.
So the two things, the way I approach these numbers is I watch SPY and I watch the TLT. Those will give me indicators. The TLT will obviously give me indicators for the banks, give me indicators for any, high dividend REITs types of plays. And then you're watching SPY too. And sometimes they both go in the same direction. A lot of times they go in opposite directions. So keep that in mind. We're really getting choppy here. I'm going to go move so I don't get picked off, move some orders, and I will be back with you hopefully in a few minutes. Joel, Spencer?
Yeah.
yeah, we're
okay.
here. Oh wow,
Wow.
I'm looking at that. Whoa, look at that chart on the top left there.
Yeah. Bulls and bears are battling it out here. I'll just give you the technical setup here. We know that when fundamental information comes out, technicals have a little bit less meaning. But we're looking at a 1 minute chart here on the upper left, and someone was jamming it and thought, okay, we're going to get out and take out that pre-market high. The pre-market high is 44.03 and a quarter, and nothing there. I mean, I have nothing there. Someone decided to sell there, or a group of sellers. Yesterday's high is the big number on the upside. That's 44.21, and there's not much above that. On the downside, we're up 7.5 handles. The close was 43.90. That's above the pre-market low. The pre-market low comes in at 82 and a quarter. So let's see what they do. Can they get it red on this number, take it below 43.90, or can they just bust through that pre-market high of 44.03 and a quarter and really opens up after that? So here we go. Jobs number imminent. Here we go.
go. And I'm going to do my best to get it to you as quickly as I can with my laptop.
Someone's getting a little bit sell happy. They don't like it. They don't like it. Not a good number.
My
Muted
computer
Mitch coming in here.
Thank you. Save me, Mitch. My computer's failing me.
I'll let you pull that number. One of the things that I'm kind of interested in finding out is we had
Oh, my
such a good
goodness.
bounce back, but do
Okay.
we kind of fill down towards 43.35 today? You got something, Spence?
Whoa, that is okay. Yeah. So remember, 500,000 jobs was your estimate. 194,000 was your actual non-farm payroll figure. So not nearly as many new jobs added last month as expected. That's 2 months in a row. That's 2 months in a row of big misses on the non-farm payroll figure. Unemployment rate did go down more than expected, 4.8% versus a 5.1% estimate. So that's okay. But far fewer jobs added again last month than we thought
And
they would.
in any revisions to the prior month bad
Yes.
number?
Yes. That's a great question, Joel. The August payrolls were revised higher to 366,000, so not quite as bad
Mhm.
as the prior reading would indicate. July was revised higher as well. So the last two, the August and July figures were revised higher, not as bad as maybe we initially thought. I'm sure this month's will be revised higher as well. But regardless, that's a pretty substantial gap though between a 500,000 estimate and 194,000 actual. So even if it is revised higher to 250, 300, it's still a big miss. As far as what this means, I'm going to stick with what I said before. Probably nothing. The Fed's probably still going to announce the taper at some point here imminently. But I'm watching that candle on the top left chart there, Joel. And oh yeah, we are really moving.
Yeah, and someone mentioned in the chat, and I mentioned this a while ago, the old stagflation, where you have inflation, excuse me, into a slowing economy, which is the exact worst situation that you want to see. This certainly doesn't give any boost to the banks, right? As far as rates going up with the economy. So you see JP Morgan, that's trading down 35 cents. And the spoos are getting hit here. We are heading for that pre-market low of 82 and a quarter. Decidedly, yesterday's rally is now fading and fading hard. We may see the top of that range, that 3-day, 4-day trading range we had, but the street not liking the number. So I don't know if it's people still living off those
I,
unemployment checks that they still
yeah,
have, or
yeah.
people not wanting to work,
You know what,
because they're
Joel?
making so much
That's
money
what I was thinking. That's what I was
trading
thinking too.
Bitcoin.
I, historically, when there's a big miss in the non-farm payroll figure, we blame the employer. We say, oh, there's not enough jobs being added. But I'm wondering if this is just a case of there's not enough jobs being accepted, right? Like maybe the jobs are there, they're just not being taken. Actually, no, we know the jobs are there, right?
Yeah.
They're not being taken. So that shows up on the figure regardless. I mean, I like the fact that unemployment went down to 4.8%. Right. So it's hard to square this circle. It's hard to make sense of this because the unemployment number is good, the non-farm payroll is bad. They seem to go against each other. I'm not quite sure how to make sense of that, but
And
um,
gold rallies. Gold's rallying right now. So this is, you know, it's the opposite. I will say gold here is at an important area. I was looking at the dailies at this 1771 area, 71 and a half, right here, a pair of highs. So important for gold. I mean, I don't think that this is really inflationary numbers. I don't know why gold is rallying here. Bitcoin has sold off its high a little bit. Market, I mean, we sold off. Now we're back at unchanged. We did not make a new pre-market low, which is good. So really, I mean, we've had some movement, but overall pretty subdued because to me, taking out the pre-market high would have been a bullish indication, and taking out the pre-market low would have been a little of a bearish indication. And I'd say if we go back up, what time? What did we start this 8:30 number here? We are almost, I think it was 43.95. That was God, where did we end the 8:30 bar? 8:30 bar, we ended at 43.98. So that's and I'll throw another number in there for the bulls and the bears to decide. That's where we were before the jobs number came out. And now just trading a little bit on change. As we said, this doesn't look great for interest rates going up. Let's see. First of all, let's see how the TLT is responding. TLT is getting hit. and the banks are getting hit. So that's a little bit of a conundrum there. But let's see.
Something
I
else
want
to consider is that wages did go up.
Okay.
Average hourly earnings did go up. I I don't know if they went up maybe enough to. Clearly, they didn't go up enough to incentivize enough job growth. But hourly earnings are increasing. That would seem to be a good thing too. But I don't know. I guess like my first thought is we always blame a jobs number miss on the lack of availability of jobs. I don't know if that's the issue here. I think it's just an issue of people just not taking the jobs for a variety of it's not one reason why, obviously, but yeah, this is a bit confusing.
climb it back. We're almost 43.94. Found buyers in the 43.80 handle, and when we started out 43.98. Crude, that's up 61 cents. That's rallying a little bit off the high. Gold's catching a bid off this. Silver's catching a bid. Bitcoin's still in the green. And Ethereum's still in the green, but buy
How's
the
it? Hey, how's
dippers are
oil?
fighting back.
How's oil?
Oil, oil's up. I don't think that on the 1 minute. I don't think that moved. Yeah, it moved a little bit off the number, but you got a big number on the upside today for oil. High of the move, 79.78. You got the 79.66 today. So oil's trying to hang in there. Spoos fighting their way back. Are we having Marcus on today
I
or
am waiting. We're supposed to have Marcus today. I shot him a note. I'm going to text him real
okay?
fast. We were supposed to have Marcus on the show, and I'm waiting for him to join us because we miss Marcus. So I'm doing that in the background.
Buy the dippers are present in in the
I
pre-market.
bought the dip too.
Yeah, under 43.90.
I mean, this is just a chop market. So as traders, again, we talked about this at 8 o'clock. Buy the dip, sell the rip. I mean, you're seeing it right here, and obviously we got down about 14 handles lower than this, and they turned around, they started buying them again. So the buy the dip mentality, you're not going to break it, especially after the last couple of days. So you get that dip back, and what do? You buy it. So I don't know where we're going to, we have a wide open. We have more volatility. You're going to get more dips here. I don't know if this was just the dip to buy and now we're just going to rip higher from here or not.
It's going to be.
I was hoping we'd fill the gap. We didn't do that. We filled a little bit of it, but not nearly enough. So on the gap on SPY I'm talking about. But again, same story. You get that dip. There's not a lot of fear. Like I was the same way. I was like, okay, I'm buying some SPY, and I bought some at 438.30 and 438.40. Because you could just feel it like we're chopping around enough that they're probably going to come back. So not, obviously, nothing's right all the time. Nothing's 100%, but
yeah,
this buy the dip mentality out here is stronger than ever.
No fear. You said it just now.
There's no fear. I didn't have fear either on the number.
That wouldn't.
Oh my goodness, what's going on? I'm like, all I'm thinking is everybody that's caught short from the last couple of days is going to be using any type of a dip to buy. Maybe we should have said that before the show started too, but. I mean, this is just, rinse and repeat. I've been tweeting it almost every day. Buy the dip, sell the rip, rinse and repeat. And it has been working like crazy in this market environment.
Yeah, we did took out the pre-market high, 03.25, go to 07.75 here. So, in fact, we couldn't take out the pre-market low. Got pretty darn close. So I'm sure a lot of people were looking for follow through that. I think you're gonna have a seesaw day.
I think so too.
It's just kind of the way it feels like from the way it reacted off the number.
I will say the Fed funds futures have fully priced in a rate hike by the end of next year. So rates are going to go off the floor, so the market says, in the next 13 months, 14 months, at some point. Anyway, let's move on. All right, I did just text Marcus. I don't know where he's at.
We were all excited for Marcus.
I know. I apologize. I emailed him. We're waiting for Marcus. In the meantime, though, we have a fun little segment here prepared. Mitch yesterday did some real boots on the ground channel checks. He got out of the trade cave and he went out into the world, the outside, where the sun is, and he and he did some research. Mitch, tell us, what did you see?
All right, first things first. Is this muted Mitch or money Mitch?
I
need
don't
to
know.
I gotta go check it.
We hear you. We hear
Just
you.
making sure here. Just making sure. They didn't want to mime you again.
You're good. You're good to go.
Let's go ahead. At least the video for sure should have audio here. So what I did was I did some research for us because I personally had been trying to go long on bros. I missed it on the IPO open. I've been looking for it to settle down a little bit. Saw it settle down. Took my shot yesterday. Just took the starter position. Looking for a little bit of a dip today to add to the average. But we'll see what happens at the open here. But what I really wanted to do was research on Bros, Dutch Brothers versus Starbucks, right? And so I said, you know what? Let's go on over to the Dutch Bros. Let's go find out exactly what the hype is all about. All right, so a lot of people have been asking me what's all the hype about with the Dutch Bros coffee. This is what it's all about, guys. Look, I'm gonna show you guys here. This is Starbucks, right? Do you see anybody in that? Look, one car going into the parking lot. We're about to show you right across the street. You see those cars waiting over there? That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for Dutch Bros. Look at the empty Starbucks right next to it. Let's go ahead and let's go get a coffee. All right, that was step one, and then we went to step two, which really, this is gonna be the one that I think really got me over the level and should get you to at least think about this as an investment. Welcome to the Dutch Bros. Look at this double lines. Two lines, not one. This is Dutch Bros. 2 lines, guys.
And this was at, what time was this at?
This was at 12 in the afternoon. This is noon time. This is not 9 in the morning. This is not 7 in the morning when people are getting their coffee. This is in the middle of the day when most people are grabbing lunch. People are out here grabbing their coffee because they need it. They gotta have it. And one thing I definitely could see was that Starbucks had not a single car in the drive-thru when I was going through this drive-thru, and yet there was about 20 cars in this line. You guys tell me what you guys think.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The Dutch Bros, man. I'm in.
Are these popping
Call
up
me
all
a
over the
believer.
place? I've never been to one of these. Like,
Call me a believer.
They don't have them near us. They're not.
Where? So this is only out in Colorado?
This is in well, it's in the West. It's in the West. You know, you gotta be the West side. You know?
It's Oregon, Washington, Colorado, I think California maybe.
Did you get coffee?
Yeah, I did. It was great. It was way better than Starbucks. I'll tell you that.
He's just saying that.
You got to, right? I mean, I become a bros now. I'm a bro.
Is that what
they
call
That's
Dutch
what I'm
Bros,
thinking.
or do they call it Dutch Brothers? And it's just the short form.
It's just, do you want to be a bro? Come
you
join
be
the
a
bros.
We learn everything on this show.
The pair trade is to short Starbucks and buy Dutch Brothers.
That's
it.
what the
That's
lunch
it,
crowd
Joel.
was saying yesterday.
That's it. That's the pairs trade. If you want to learn a little bit more about pairs trading, can I tell you guys, on the 16th, you just might learn from this guy right above me. The pairs trader right here.
That's what we do.
Come check out.
Relationship-based trading.
They have
Don't make
food
calls,
there?
take advantage of inefficiencies.
Do they got food there? Yeah, they got a concession stand, Joel. They got hot dogs. They got it all. Popcorn.
What about cigars?
No,
That's what I thought.
So the
Dutch
real
Brothers
key thing
cigars.
that we talked about, Spencer and I talked about, bros, was that it's a very small location. You can't go on the inside. You can only walk up and get your coffee or go through the drive-thru. I think this actually gives them an advantage over Starbucks. They tried to do more of an in-person experience going inside, and I think really we're getting to the point in day where that experience is starting to change, and the culture is more, let me grab my coffee and get back home.
Look at that.
Anyways,
Funny things
cool
happen
segment, Money Mitch.
Funny things happen when you venture out of your house, which I'm not allowed to do.
What you
right
do?
now.
Did you hold your iPhone up when you were doing that?
Yeah, man. Well, I don't have an iPhone, Joe. I'll be honest.
Oh, you got a Droid?
I'm a Droid fan. I'm a Droid fan.
I didn't know if Raz hired a camera crew to do that or something. You know.
That was on the ground, boots on the ground, Benzinga style.
All right,
right.
Mitch, Money Mitch with the
Money
report
Mitch.
on Dutch Brothers.
We like that. We should do this segment like every Friday. It's okay. Boots on the ground, getting in there, doing our channel checks. Money Mitch. I like it.
Let's do some ticker time here. We
Sure.
have a few minutes. I don't know where Marcus is. I have emailed him. I have texted, and he is MIA. We hope we can get him on today.
What's going on with the spoos, man?
We're all
What is
over
going
the
on
place.
with the
Buy
market?
dip,
This is,
sell
I
the
said,
rip,
this is going
buy
to
the
be a
dip,
two-way
sell the rip.
day.
What's that?
Man, I said, no, when it was making the new high, I'm like, well, I just said, I don't think this is going to be a runner kind of day. It's going to be like a two-way day. You made a new high, now are we going to come down and make a new pre-market low and then rally back? I don't know. Is the high of the day in? Is this the day, one of the days you make the pre-market high? I I don't
Could.
know. I keep an eye on that 0775. I mean, man, they stuffed it there. I don't know. I don't want to get all bearish on you
Don't
guys
chase in
again.
this market.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm not
chase in this
buying.
market.
If I
Write
lose
that
money
down.
today, it's gonna be on the short side.
Write that down on a sticky note. Do not chase. This is not the market to chase, not the market to chase. We have not been in the market to chase for a long time. We are in the contrarian dream trade right now, where everything's just chop and slop and you're fading moves, you're making money, buy dips, sell rips, until we start getting into a trending market. So you have different types of markets. Your first thing as a trader is to identify what kind of market are we in. Overall, you look at the 90-day chart, you can get a feel for what kind of market we're in. What kind of market we're in? Bring up your IWM. It'll give you a really good feel. It's like this. What's today look like? If you're buying up here, oh, it's going, I got to buy. Oh, no, it's going down, I got to sell. You're doing it backwards. So buy when it's ripping.
We're red.
Sell
We
when
are
it's
red.
dipping. Joel's
We're
all
red.
just focused on, directional bets right here. But you know what? I don't focus on directional bets. Not focusing on, I think this market's going higher, I think this market's going lower. Just had a big rip, I'm going to take some profits. I'm going to maybe short some stocks. Just had a big dip, I'm going to take some profits on some of my shorts, maybe buy some stocks, just like that. Going back and forth and back and forth. That's the way to trade this market. It's the fade trade. We were in the 2020 trending market. Anybody who started in 2020 only knew trending markets. Oh, we buy the dip on the trend and we make money. You're not in the trending market anymore. We are in a contrarian market. That's what we are overall. That's why we're looking at big moves, and that's why when you get a big move, you take your profits, because if you don't, the market will take them away for you.
All right. All right, coming. We'll see. We'll see what happens today. Pre-market low stands at 82.25. Pre-market high getting farther away. 0775. Maybe you'll get that gap fill today. Triple D down to that. Even though there's no gap in the S&Ps, but there is in the SPY. So a lot of action here off that number. I mean, one thing, if you really want to think about it, like really macro. Not good news, right? It's not, I mean, we got to find out the reasons, but the news they gave us today is certainly not good news.
I don't know if anything is really bad news either, though. I've been in the believer of this market where if you're looking and you're trying to trade and get short on the bad news, it's been a tough go. Trying to interpret news is a difficult task in itself, and I do participate in that task. But interpreting macro headlines to drive a thesis for your stock, purchasing or selling is difficult. I would just simplify it. Don't worry about the numbers. Look at the TLT. Look at the SPY. TLT actually leaking. What does that mean? It means banks eventually, if the TLT continues to leak here, banks will start to pick it up a little bit. We've seen the banks trade off with the SPY right now, but you'll start to see separation happen. So if the TLT continues to leak, I'd be a buyer of banks in here right now. If the TLT turns around and starts ripping, which it's not, it's leaking right now. Bring up the chart of the TLT. There's so much information on that. Nobody uses it. How many times did they mention the TLT on CNBC? The odd time somebody mentions the 10-year, but they don't go up there. It's such a great indicator that nobody uses. So, you're seeing it off 0.5% right now. Is that significant? It's a good size move. Some of these days we've been seeing the TLC sell off $1 or $2, but you bring up a chart of the banks, You bring up a chart of the TLT. Do it right now. I don't know. You can't put them beside each other. We should start doing that. But if you look, TLT straight down for 2 weeks. What have the banks done in that time? Straight up for 2 weeks. You think that's a coincidence? Hell no. There's a relationship there, a relationship where you can extract alpha from. And you know what? A lot of traders don't even understand that relationship. And it's so simple.
I was on mute.
Alright.
Sorry. Let's do some takers from the chat. Let's look at one that we haven't talked about much. Oatly, OTLY. This is from Edward. Edward Epure. I hope I said that right.
Is he French?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm reading off the chat. OTLY, recent IPO.
We like French. Although I'm not very good at it. What is the symbol? OTLY?
Yeah.
Spencer, I don't know if you could pull up your pro, but I think there was a
What does
ratings
this
change
company
on
do?
the
I don't
stock
even know anything
today.
about this.
Yes, you do. It's oat milk. No?
Beyond Meat style then. Like, I don't know. I know nothing about this company. It does oat milk. It sounds like, one of these health stocks that got whacked, and it's been getting whacked for the last month. Stock's in a horrible downtrend. Is it oversold massively? Are there bag holders all over this thing? Yes, there is. Would I be selling the rip? Yes, I would. My opinion.
Okay. Struggling. Currently, we're struggling right at, no, not even struggling. We're at the highs of the pre-market. Why are we up a buck on this? Is there some good news on it? Did someone say something that they liked it or something? Do you know? Like,
I
There's a ratings change. I'm trying to point it out here. Just give me one quick second.
I don't. I'd keep an eye on. If you bought this bounce over the last couple days, you want to really see follow through 1621, high at 1608, 1621. I think things really open up after that. If you want, I don't know if it's going to fade today, but if you want to try and pick it up on a fade, the top of yesterday's range is 1495. So not much resistance until the lower 16 handle. And if you want to buy it back on the dip, and you don't want to buy it ahead of a gap fill or at a gap fill, 1495. I think Emily tried this, and then I don't think she liked it.
Oat milk?
I think
Yeah,
that's
oat milk.
It doesn't sound very
probably-
appealing to me.
No.
I don't know.
Okay, that's
Well,
another.
what about Qualcomm here from Zachary?
Qualcomm, good old Qualcomm.
It's been a while. I've had this in my long-term portfolio. I hardly ever trade this stock too. I should start trading it more, but I've had this in the long-term portfolio. It was the one stock that I bought in March of 2020, and I've stuck with it. It's been a double for me. I don't know. You're at some major support at 125. It's got a 2% dividend. I don't think it's going back to 100. I'm just holding on.
Not doing much. Pre-market trading up just a tad. Let's hold yesterday. Excuse me. Hold yesterday's low at 127.58. You're already above that. And the next minor resistance point, I think you got some room up here to 130 if you're looking at a shorter term trade. Your 4 and 5 day highs, 129.79 to 130.02.
All right, a couple people asking about Macquarie Infrastructure, MIC. This is a company that recently spun off one of its assets to a private equity firm, and today they're going ex-dividend on a special dividend today. So that's why it's not actually down 80% or whatever. They're paying a $37.38 per share special dividend, and it goes ex today. So
Yeah.
don't
It's
freak
actually
out.
up 9%.
Yeah.
What's the symbol?
MIC. Mick.
So they spun off the majority of their business, obviously, it sounds like. $3.31 is the adjusted close.
Yep.
It's a 361. It's actually trading up 9% right now from where it closed, with this, considering the spinoff. But obviously, it's only an extra 30 cents from $40. So it's not like you banked, a hell of a lot of coin on but it's up 30 cents from where it closed.
Yeah, so don't freak out. It may look like down 90% or 80%. It's not.
It's not down
80%.
90%.
So
No.
there's that. Okay, someone asked about Netflix, please. He said, please, Netflix. Okay.
It's just such a monster. It continues to go up. It's been the driver of, it's been a driver for FANG, really. Obviously, it's the N in FANG, and it's been a driver here. You got a candle. Is it overbought? Absolutely. Does it need a pullback? Maybe. But this stock is just, on a monster tear. The content that they keep pumping out, some of it's good, some of it's bad, but there's so much content. And I've become a firm believer when Disney came out with Disney Plus, I was like, this is going to be, a big competitor to Netflix. And I've realized now that Disney's problem with Disney Plus is that they're too concerned about putting out only good content. Netflix just pumps out content. And I looked at Disney
They
Plus.
throw everything out there.
Everything out there. And you look at Disney Plus and I was like, I don't have any new content. They come out with like 3-4 new shows a week. It's so slow. Netflix, they had like 50 new shows a week. Okay, 25 of them suck or 30 of them suck, but there's some good stuff in there. So I don't know what Disney's got to do, but they've got to start pumping out a hell of a lot more content if they're ever going to compete with Netflix. If I didn't have my kids, I would cancel my Disney Plus subscription because I don't even look at it anymore. The kids like Disney Plus, lots of good cartoons, lots of high quality stuff on Disney Plus, but there's not enough content. Netflix is the king of the king of pumping out content. Is the best content? Maybe not, but they're the king of pumping it out.
Dennis, have you watched
the content out there? They've got so much stuff on there. That I've realized that they are going to remain the king of streaming for a very, very long time. Streaming is not going away. I would buy Netflix on pullbacks. I didn't like it, 2 years ago. We know I kind of turned to neutral on it a while ago, but you can see it's grown into its multiple to a certain extent. It only trades like 55 or 60 times earnings, I believe, on forward basis, which isn't even that crazy. So they've done everything right and proven me completely wrong on this. Me and Michael Pachter were wrong on it. I'm not saying I'm coming in chasing it here, but I'd be a buyer pullbacks on Netflix.
Have you seen Squid Game? Have you watched that?
No, should I? Everybody's talking about it.
Everyone's. I haven't watched. Maybe I should because I'm stuck at home. I should probably watch something. But
Squid Game.
Yeah, it's a South Korean, I believe, South Korean show. It's like the most popular show in the world right now. It's the most watched show. I think it's a like a dystopian. Again, I haven't seen it, but it's like a dystopian game that you have to play or you die. I'm sure people in our chat can correct me. If you've seen it, please correct me. Tell me if I butchered that, but I think it's like you have to play in this game or you die. It's like
It sounds like a Hunger Games.
Again, I haven't seen it, but it's like the number one trending show right now. So I'm sure I'm catching up on the chat.
Hey, did you hear the last Ted? I think for the season, the last Ted Lasso. Did you check that out yet, Dennis?
No.
Ted Lasso.
No.
Spencer, do you know who his character's patterned after? Did you hear about this?
Do I know who it's patterned after?
Yeah, his characteristics and everything.
No.
And who they consulted with?
No.
Hurrah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Netflix, and whoever asked about Netflix,
yeah,
I'm sure they're a long-term holder and they're thinking about whether to buy, sell, or hold. 639.10. I'm not going to give you the all-time high. You can look that up on yourself, but 639.10 is the all-time high, and you traded below it yesterday. So to make that red candle, to make me forget about it. Candle. Make me a new all-time closing high, 639.10. That's what I want to see if I was long Netflix.
Can I just say
628, 629.
Can I just say on this S&P, same thing just happened again. Can we bring up the pre-market chart for the S&P?
I know. I was just
because everybody's like, oh, we're going red. You know what? The smart money was doing? Buying that last dip again. Inside candle from where we actually traded, Joel. So we had the opening 8:30 candle, which went ba-doom, and then they bought it back up. And then we had to side an inside candle again. We got down there near that 438 level on SPY, and we ripped higher once again. Buy the dip, can't shake yet. Keep trading that chop. And you're trading the chop. How do you trade the chop? If you're new to markets, you trade the chop by buying the dip and selling the rip. I'm like a broken record here. But you know what? When you're making money, you stay a broken record. And you stay on what is working, and fade trade continues to work. Don't chase it.
All right, I'm going to hop off because my folks missed Premarket Prep Plus yesterday. So I'm going to hop over there and cover the symbols we missed. So
hey, as a reminder, everyone, next set, not tomorrow.
Play that video, man. I get all psyched up when I see that video. Play that video. Does Mitch have it?
This one? That one?
Get ready, Pre-Market Prep Plus.
So here it is, trading from relationships.
Talk pairs trading, sympathy trading, risk arbitrage, and then we'll even talk to social media.
This is your chance.
Be there.
How to increase the odds.
We're going to dive deep into relationship-based trading, pairs trading, sympathy trading, basket trading, risk arbitrage.
Then get ready for the event on October 16th. You guys think we're fired up on the Pre-Market Prep Show? Then be there October 16th for Trading from Relationships 2.
There we go. There it is. Next Saturday, premarketprep.com. Learn more about that. Also, everyone, hey, please remember that all the information from our show, from all of our shows, from every show, meant to be used as informational purposes only and not for investing or trading or even life advice for that matter. We don't really know anything about anything. Smash that like button, please, and thank you. I will hopefully be back on camera on Monday. Supposed to get some new equipment over the weekend here. That will be great. And thanks to all of you for the well wishes. I appreciate it.
How are you feeling?
Excuse me.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. Actually, I'm feeling a little bit better than Ariel right now.
Oh, Ariel started getting some symptoms.
Yeah, she had the Moderna. She was feeling fine.
Yeah.
When I was feeling sick, and now I'm feeling okay, and she's feeling a little sick.
What's her symptoms? Just is she like just because because not all of us have COVID, so we kind of want to live vicariously through you guys right now.
So she congestion just like me, but also what I did not have that she does have is she's got some like temperature, she's got some like chills and like sweats going on. So she's trying to fight her body temp right now, which I did not have. I didn't experience that. But
yeah, like you've sounded good the whole time. You haven't really sounded congested.
I felt not good Monday. I thought it was a cold. I felt worse on Tuesday. I have felt better every day since I got diagnosed. I haven't done anything. I've just been taking decongestant for the entire time, and NyQuil. But my congestion's I've gotten better. I'll tell you all about this on Monday or Tuesday because I'll get the Regeneron treatment on Monday. So that should probably help. But that's the same thing.
Do you know anything about how the Regeneron treatment works? Is it IV? Like how?
Yes.
How do you?
Yes. It's an hour-long IV treatment. Is what I was told. I'll be able to tell you more about it after Monday when I get it.
And the only reason you can get that is because you have asthma.
Yes. So there's that, but I thanks for all the well wishes. I mean, I again, if I didn't know better, I would think I just had a cold, honestly.
Yeah.
But the trick is like every time there's anything new, you're like, oh, that I didn't feel that before. That's something new, But it's basically like I'm on like a 10-day clock, and as long as it doesn't get worse within like the 10 days, I should be okay. So that's where we're at. I got the Johnson & Johnson. It has definitely helped. So, but I thank everyone on Twitter and the chat for some people emailed me. Thank you for all the emails, the well wishes. I appreciate. Thank God no one texted me. No one has my number, because I don't need that. But thank you everyone. And yeah, I feel okay. I hope to be back on camera on Monday. But it's been a strange week, but we're powering through. And yeah, so live trading is gonna go live in a few minutes here. I'm gonna end this stream. It'll redirect to live trading with Mitch, with Zunaid, with Ryan Fluna. I will not be on it. So everyone have a great rest of your day. I'll be on. Dennis, have a good day. I'll be back on stream.
You guys too. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, Dennis. I'll be back on stream for Power Hour in a couple hours from now. And yeah, everyone have a good rest of your morning. Good luck at the open. I'll be watching live trading. I'll be watching y'all. I'll be there in the chat. And everyone, good luck at the open. And yeah, stay green.